Is this what you want with Matt and Julia? Is this what you want with Matt and Julia? Is this what you want
Hey, rock
with
and
Matt
roll.
and Julia?
Good
Seriously,
morning
so what do you
to you. This is the podcast that makes you poo. It's Is This What You Want with Matt and Julia.
I hope this doesn't make people poo.
I'm just saying it makes you poo because guess what? We're doing a morning podcast.
Yeah.
And I poo in the morning.
Have you yet?
No.
I haven't either. So we're both full of shit.
Yeah.
That's the new podcast right there.
We're full.
Two
the
people
podcast
that have
should be
not
called
shit yet.
We're Full of Shit. And when we can only podcast when we haven't shit.
Yeah, because I think doesn't it make you think different? My parents told me this as a kid. Maybe they could be making it up.
I have heard that when you haven't shit in a while and you are, the expression "you're full of shit" comes from like the shit like poisons your brain.
Yeah, because all the fumes are drifting upwards into your attic, which is your brain. I call the attic the brain part of your body.
Yeah,
the
and your
attic.
butt's the basement.
Yes, and or it's just I'm so preoccupied. If I have not shit, if I go a day without shitting, it's all I think about. I'm like, something's wrong. Something is terribly, terribly wrong. I can't do anything else.
Our friend Laura just hiked Machu Picchu, and she's like, I did not shit the whole time.
Like how many days?
4 days.
That's
It's a
disgusting.
4-day hike, and she's like, the elevation, the altitude made me bloat so much. I didn't shit. She sent a picture of her and her boyfriend Kevin. It was his birthday. They went on this big trip. And she's like, yeah, this is us after not showering for 4 days. And it's a picture of her and Kevin. And I literally thought it was a picture of Kevin and some weird fucking old Swedish man they found. And I was like, oh my God, that's Laura.
She's puffed up and full of shit.
She's puffed up.
I'm telling you, it changes your body. It changes everything.
Yeah, it turns you into an old Swedish man. But anyway, hi everybody. I'm Julia, and I'm with my husband and my co-host and my lover Matt.
Yeah, that's me. It's the morning time because we usually record these on Thursdays. Now it's Friday, but Julia is going off to Reno today.
R to the E to the N to the no.
Open with that little Reno rap.
Reno is like, you know when people like say, RE, like regarding. Is RE regarding?
I
like
think
see,
so. Or responding?
like new info
I think it's
tomorrow.
regarding. I think you're right for saying regarding.
Anyway.
I think the case is closed on that
Okay,
one.
so regarding, so Reno is it's good. No, like regarding,
Regarding, no.
like don't
Here.
don't go here. Anyway, I'm going to Reno today. I was supposed to go yesterday, but we'll get into that in a minute. We can also tell it's the morning because my voice is like an octave lower.
I also have morning voice.
I kind of like my morning voice better.
I know. Maybe that's why radio DJs, the morning show people, keep their jobs. Because they sound great in the morning, but then they're like later on in the day, they're like, geez. What a great show this morning.
Welcome to KCL. I'm Miranda Slip and Stop.
Slip and stop?
That's what the brain came up with. And then later on in the day, she's like, I'm Amanda Slip and Stop.
You sound like Babu Freak from the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, I'm
one
still,
of the worst ones.
I'm Goofy Town this morning. We had one of those nights last night when we went to bed. This always happens. I get a case of the fucking giggles right before bed, and then we laugh so hard we cry, and then I got all phlegmy when I cry,
Yeah.
and then I just cough myself to sleep.
We were so ready to go to bed, and I was laughing so hard I had to get up and pee again. It like pushed all the pee out of me. It was what were the two things we were laughing?
We're not. If we say them out loud, it's not going to be funny to anybody else. So let's just spare everybody the gruesome details of what we were laughing at. It was not gruesome.
What are we missing out on? There's little things that couples and friends do that they're like, this is hilarious, like cry, laugh to us that no one will understand.
No, and that's what's nice. If it was cry, laugh to everybody, then everybody would be in a couple with everybody.
That's right.
On that note, happy Chappy Hour, everybody.
Happy Chappy Hour, the only happy hour dedicated to the worst rub-up movie of all time that Julia has not seen.
Not seen, but perhaps on my JetBlue flight to Reno, if
Your
it's on the
1 hour
plane,
flight?
I will watch it. I don't think it will be, though. And you know what? I do have the app, so we'll check. Because I don't even think it's a plane that has televisions.
JetBlue is like a Spirit or like a Flair airline, aren't they?
I think
Aren't
so.
they like
I think it's a step above.
Okay.
I think it's a step above.
Like the plane's put together by Velcro and zippers.
Sure. I must have flown JetBlue before because I did have the app on my phone. So I'm like, why would I have the app if I'm not just
Yeah.
collecting apps of airlines I don't fly?
It sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure I've been on one. I also, I mean, this isn't to freak you out, but the pilots of these budget airlines, are they lesser than? Do they match the quality of the plane? Or are they all just great pilots as a group?
I think everybody has to pass the pilot course.
Well, of course. But if you're like, oh, great, I'm a pilot. Imagine you're like, I worked my whole life to be a pilot. And they're like, well, you're flying Spirit Airlines, Des Moines to Missoula. And that's your strip for, I guess they, get multiple airlines.
I mean, maybe you
and
start
stuff.
into, but yeah, they're.
It just reminds me of like a shitty like stand-up gig, like a Legion Hall.
Yeah,
or
it's like
something.
what you
You're
do
just
when
like-
you're starting, and then
Yeah.
well, I don't want to think about that.
Not to bring it down. Maybe ask him on the way in. Give him a look on the way in. If he's very young and he's like looking at a manual.
But at least younger is like, yeah. It's interesting with doctors. They've done this study. A lot of younger doctors, because they're fresh out of med school, and all of the information is like right
It's
there.
right there, yeah.
So they're more likely to catch certain things and whatever because it's all fresh, and they want to do great. And then a lot of this is not always the case, but a lot of older doctors are sort of set in their way, or there's new information coming in because the medical society is always changing. There's always new developments.
Yeah.
They're not as up to date on
You know
all
what they
the
say?
new stuff.
You know what they say? You can't teach an old doctor new six.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
I can't believe my brain thought of that.
That's pretty
also, yeah, new doctors are opposite of shitting. They're full of knowledge instead of shit. I would hope that a doctor that's like working on me has had a full shit that day.
I don't want to think about my doctor. Next time I go to the doctor, all I'm going to be thinking about is like, when did you shit? Was it healthy?
Two things when you get on the plane. Ask the pilot if he had a full shit today, because that's very important. If he looks disgruntled and he's like, oh, God, I'm backed up, you're like, oh, God. Also, if I was a pilot, I just thought about this. I would sit with the cockpit door open as people were coming on, and I'd sit there with a big, thick manual. And as people walked by, I'd go, what the hell is that?
I'd sit with a big pepperoni pizza and be like, damn, that smells good.
Finally, it's almost pizza time. I mean, time to fly the plane.
Also, I'm staring at your stationary bike with a bumper sticker that we put on it that says, keep honking, I'm behind the wheel trying to suck my own dick, and I'm definitely going to crash.
Yep.
And I'm just picturing that on bumper sticker on the back of a JetBlue plane.
I'm trying to suck my own
The
dick.
pilot's just trying to... Oh, imagine...
I'm tempted to put that on our car.
No, we'll get stabbed.
Something bad will happen.
Yeah, people are gonna, especially when I'm driving alone, guys will be like, yeah, you try to suck your own dick there,
sucking your own
sweetheart.
dick, baby. Bumper stickers in general, I realize it's just making me easier to find.
Yes.
Like even seeing this Costco bumper sticker, I'm like, that's just making me easier to track down.
Yeah, but you ain't doing nothing nefarious.
I know, but what if I cut somebody off and they're like, I'll fucking find you, Costco bumper sticker. You
Well,
know?
don't cut someone off.
I rarely do. I
I cut someone off yesterday, but because they were cutting me off. And
Well,
I was
there you
like,
go.
this is not happening.
You got to cut the cutter.
I cut the cutter. Anyway, it's Chappy Hour. We're chapping coffee. We're having, I don't know. It's the shit that you buy at Costco.
It's a red bag. It says Columbia on it, I think.
We've purchased this for the past 5 years, and I cannot remember what it is called.
Yeah, that's why in Canada they have is it no frills where they have no name?
No name is, I think no name, they sell it at Loblaws, and No Frills, which is a
Yeah.
conglomerate of Loblaws.
But that's
Associate.
that's kind of great design because I buy a lot of things at Costco and grocery stores where I'm like, I couldn't tell you the name of it. I just know the bag. I know that is a coffee bag.
Yeah.
And that sometimes I get the red one, sometimes I get the blue one.
The red one is like more like a house blend, and
Yeah.
the blue one is more like a richer.
This is what I know. Also, the coffee prices are just astronomical.
Oh, they're skyrocketing.
What's going
I
on
tell
with
ya.
beans these days? That's a new segment. What's up with beans?
What the fuck's up with
Chris Bush,
beans?
you don't have to make a theme for that. I don't think
Please
that'll-
don't.
That's fine. Oh, he made a new one for That Was Weird.
Oh yeah.
I hope we have a That Was
I don't
Weird
even know,
today.
but because this is going to be a shorter podcast because I'm like, we have to leave at 10 a.m. and it is 8:27. Yikes!
Oh God! And I still have to have a movement.
I have to. We both have to have our movements.
Yeah, still have to
We're
take
like
the dog out.
Bach and Mozart composing our movement,
Yeah, yeah. I'm the Bach of making shit.
and I'm the Mozart.
Yeah, the terrible analogy.
Oh.
Analogy.
That's a terrible analogy. Analogy.
You can't teach an old doctor new sick. Is maybe the best thing I've ever written.
Yeah, it's very good. Should we get into our first segment, warm and fuzzy?
Yeah, sure. So this is something nice that happened this week. Because you got to reflect on the nice things, even though people are cutting you off out there. Maybe they're full of shit.
May I
Maybe the
start?
person that cut you off is full of shit.
Oh, absolutely.
That'll change your whole perspective on the world if you're like, who is full of shit out
Here's
here?
the thing. This person didn't fully cut me off. They just didn't look. They were merging, and I was like, no. You're supposed to stop and look, and it's my right of way. And people just don't like to look at all. They're
Yeah.
just like, everybody will get out of my way. And I was like, I will not. I will screech ahead and cut you off because I need to turn right. Anyway.
Is that because of the liability and especially like California laws and U.S. laws where it's like, listen, if you hit me, that's your fault? Is that the whole thing? Like they're just like,
Well,
if
guess
you-
what? If I cut them off and they didn't stop, they would have hit me.
That's right. We got that dash cam. It's looking. It's peeping. We got the footage.
The move I pulled wasn't great. Anyway,
check
warm
it
and
out.
fuzzy. So this happened yesterday. Well, on my. Anyway, let me just.
What
I
happened
don't know.
there?
No, okay. It's early. It's early, and
Pool brain.
I have pool brain. I've got poo on the brain. So
If we get pulled over by the cops on the way to the airport, I'd be like, I got poo brain. I got poo on the brain.
then we get arrested immediately, thrown in the poo tank,
Unless the cop is like, I also have not shit today.
and then we both take a shit on the side of the highway.
All together, whole holding hands.
Can you imagine you saw a cop holding hands with a couple taking a shit on the side of a highway?
But they're all smiling. And we're like, you know what? Maybe not a cab.
That's
A cap. All cops
a
are pooing.
a scat.
Oh, wait. What?
I don't know.
Oh,
All cops are scatting.
I hate that scat is poo.
Scabbity-boop.
Why is it that and pooing?
Because that's what it sounds like when you poo.
That's my butt.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Warm and fuzzy
Warm and
things?
fuzzy. Okay, my warm and fuzzy. So I mentioned this on the podcast last week, I guess. So I submitted to an audition. I submitted to be the female MC of Magic Mike Live, and I got an audition, which I was so excited about. So I did my self tape, sent that in. I thought it went really well, and then I got a call back.
Damn right. There it is.
Did I mention that?
I
No.
don't think so.
No, because no, it wouldn't have happened. So I submitted it. I got a call back, and it was nice because the deadline to submit was Monday, and I submitted on the Friday. And I was like, well, I probably won't find out until, at least Tuesday. But I found out Monday, so that means they liked me. You know what I mean? Like
That's
they didn't,
right. When you get a call back for something or you do an audition and they immediately are like, hello, where are you?
even before the deadline. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so that's good news. So I had my call back on Thursday, yesterday, which is why I had to bump I was supposed to be in Reno yesterday, so I had to bump my flight back to today.
That's right.
Yeah, and I haven't had like a live callback for something other than a commercial in a really long time.
Yeah.
And I just started taking these acting classes, and he was talking about like callbacks and auditions. And he's like, the minute you treat it like a big deal, you've already lost. Because when people are like, I have a big audition, I can't do this. And he's like, no, you're there to play and have a good time and have fun. So stop treating it like it's an emergency.
Oh yeah, the worst is when people post online statuses on like Facebook, being like, "I need good energy. I got a big audition today. I need all your energy." It's like, no.
Like you can't put these. So, and I was barely telling people because I don't like to tell people things before they sort of like.
I was telling people.
It just it just puts too much pressure on it. And this is the first time with an audition that I was like, I was like a little bit like nervous, excited, but I was like, I feel so prepared for this.
Yeah.
I feel so good about this. And
You're more than qualified,
dro-
overqualified.
I drove myself to the audition, which, by the way, the audition was at like near the Beverly Center. So it's like Beverly and like third. I drove around for 25 minutes. Hot tip though, if you're ever in that area, if you live in LA, the Beverly Center, first 4 hours, $1 an hour to park.
That makes sense. Most malls in LA are that, and you forget that every now and then. Sometimes they have like 90 minutes free, and you don't have to prove like that you bought anything.
No.
They just want people at the fucking mall. It's a mall, for God's sake.
So yeah, I parked there, went to my audition, and it was like at the 3rd Street Dance Studio or something. And it like you walk in, I felt like I was in center stage, like the big when you walk into like this giant, huge studio room, and there's just like a little card table with 2 people sitting there.
Classic.
And I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, the audition went so well, and I was so happy with it. I had fun. The casting people were great. Found out there's another callback if I were to get one. But yeah, at the end of it, they were like, thank you so much. That was great. And they're like, also, thank you for being so prepared. I'm like, yeah, of course. Like,
Isn't that wild?
Isn't that normal? She's like, you'd be surprised.
Maybe people are they take that advice of not taking the callbacks too seriously, being like, don't make a big deal of it, that it goes too far. And they're just like, I'm not going to prepare anything.
I
I'm not
don't
even
know.
gonna show. I see, I've gotten that from casting people in LA as well. At like commercial auditions, any kind of audition. They're just like, well, thank you for being memorized. Thank you for at least being prepared. I've heard that so many times. It's like, how many people are moving to LA and not preparing themselves?
This
is the place to do it.
Getting auditions, it's actually crazy. When your shit is sent out either by you or your agent, the amount of people they're allowed to call in versus the amount of submissions they get in is minuscule.
Yeah.
So the fact that you even got an audition is fucking huge. So if you're not going to be prepared, what the hell are you doing?
Well, that's why, I'm not talking about strikes again, because SAG is looking to go on strike. And part of it is that we should be being paid for auditions. And a lot of actors I've talked to, they're like, I don't want that because that's going to mean harder. It's going to mean harder to get auditions.
Yeah, because if they have to pay everybody to audition, then they're like, well, we're not going to call in 100 people. We're going to call in 20.
But I think we are experienced enough that we could be in that group.
I don't know.
Because we are prepared and professional, whereas it'll cut out the riffraff of these people that are like, you know what? This person's never prepared. Never going to call them in. Why am I paying these people?
I guess, but we're also not on that level that we might be on that short list of people getting called in because we're not as
I
sought
am
after.
on that level. People, I'm sorry. You don't recognize me from Much Music's Video on Trial?
I can't
I'll be
say
saying
I
that
do.
for the rest of my life. I still say that in LA. Did get recognized once down here from Video on Trial.
I
So-
always look different depending on my glasses, my hairstyle. I look like 1,000 different things. I'm
Oh,
a
yeah.
woman of many looks.
Also,
Anyway,
when you get this, I said when, but
Matt's already looking at houses in Vegas and being like, "All right, so when we move to Vegas, we're gonna have to find a new dog sitter."
I'm very deep into this. I don't care. I'm just like, we've always kind of in the back of our heads wanted to move to Vegas. We almost did it during the pandemic because we were like, it's cheap, whatever, let's live our lives. Oh, Rihanna style.
Live your life. That's what you're doing. Okay.
And I'm just like, it's not even that far away from LA. You can still do LA things. It's 4.5 hours away. It's equivalent to living in Ottawa and going to Toronto to do things, which we did when we lived in Canada.
Yeah.
And it's also Vegas. It's fun. It's cheap. And it's
Also, Mark Wahlberg is saying it's like the new Hollywood.
Mr. Wahlberg said it's Hollywood 2.0. Well, that's what also I'm thinking. Because housing is so cheap, you can rent like a 3 to 4 bedroom house for like what, $2,500?
Yeah.
Which is-
Every house in Vegas is just default 4 bedrooms.
Yeah, and like huge, like full garage, everything. I mean, the weather's crazy, but yeah. What people are saying is that it's could be on the cusp of being a new like Los Angeles kind of thing. And now I'm just like, should we hop in on the ground floor of Vegas? Which sounds crazy because Vegas has been around forever, but I feel like something's popping off.
Brewing. And if I do book this, that's sort of like a sign. Yes, let's go. But I'm not just going to move to Vegas without a job. That's crazy.
No one's saying that.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm very happy with what I did. I couldn't have done better. So either if I don't get a second callback, I will be bummed, but I won't be upset that with like myself because there's nothing else I could have done. It'll come down to like a local vibe or whatever. Maybe they're going in a different direction, but I'm hopeful that I will get a second callback, and
It will happen.
yeah,
I'm all in.
that's my warm and fuzzy. Matt, what's yours?
Oh my God, what nice thing! I mean, my Fast and the Furious musical is starting back up.
Woo!
That feels nice. We had our first rehearsal this past week because our first show, our comeback show, is happening in like 3 weeks. It's not that far away, for God's sake. But it was like nice to see everybody. It's funny. We were watching Ted Lasso last night, and both of us were like, "Oh, I wish we were on a team. I like having a team."
Yeah.
And I do, as corny as it sounds, it feels like this musical is like my team. We all get along. We all talk to each other. We all look out for each other. And we have a new cast member as well, because one of our other cast members has a baby.
Has a fresh baby.
A new baby. I
babu.
can't do the musical because I've got my new baby.
Yeah, she's fat bastard.
Yeah. It's the opposite fat bastard. He doesn't want to eat them. He wants to raise them. I love you, baby. Let me adopt your baby.
So am I to understand that fat bastard was eating babies?
That's the joke. That is the joke there. That is the... Yeah, we were all cool
Comedy
with
was
that.
different back then.
I remember kids seeing that Austin Powers and talking about it at school, and they were like, "I'm gonna eat your baby." I'm like, "What is this movie about?" It makes no sense from a person that has no idea what it is.
Ew,
And even
him-
watching it, because there's little evidence that he has eaten babies,
Is
and it's
there?
just like that's a fun joke.
Also, him eating his like flaky skin.
No, that's a different guy. That's Goldmember.
Oh, right.
That's also crazy.
there.
He wants to give people.
Goldmember and Fat Bastard are similar. It's almost as if they're played by the same guy.
I couldn't disagree more. Fat Bastard and Goldmember are similar,
They're both. The joke is they're both played by.
and they do
Like,
gross things.
Yes.
Yeah. It's odd. And I don't understand the whole obsession with Goldmember with a pancake style thing and a smoking a pancake, pipe
Bong
and
and a
crack.
Blitz.
I don't know what that is. It
At the
it almost
time,
looks
though,
like
I was like, well, that is the height of comedy. I am laughing at this.
that's where Mike Myers was at. Was like he would just do something and we're all like, ha, yep, that's how it is. I guess the Dutch like that because he was Dutch, right? Goldmember. I think.
Yeah, it's easy to make fun of the Dutch.
Yeah, Michael Caine does it in that movie. I forget Michael Caine was in Austin Powers. Good God. He's Austin's dad. Spoiler alert. So sorry for that.
yeah.
So anyway, my warm and fuzzy is, the musical starting back up feels very nice. I'm at the point, and I told you this, I'm like, I will move everything in my schedule around for this. It is so fulfilling. I love doing it. I love being with these people. Also, there's a lot of like new stuff being added to this because when we started this musical, it was 2 Fast and the Furious movies ago. Yeah,
That's a
you're
lot of movies
very
ago.
interested with your faces.
No, I am. We almost saw the Fast and the Furious movie. Oh, that's. You know what? I don't even have something that's stupid.
I can't think of. I know
But, like,
stupid things happen this week.
Let's do Warm and Fuzzy 2.0.
Okay.
I mean, it's all very stupid, but it was our 13-year anniversary of being together on May 24th, so 2 days ago.
That's right.
And originally, because I had the call back the next day, I didn't want to do anything too crazy, so we're like, what if we just go see the Fast and Furious movie, the new one?
Yeah.
But I was like all antsy. I'm like, I can't just sit and whatever in a movie.
Movie during the day is a tough. It's a tough go because
Also, I haven't been to a theater since pre-pandemic. I don't remember the last movie I saw.
not. Well, you should go see a movie in Reno. There's got to be a movie theater around there.
No.
Dirty ass
I'm
Reno
not gonna.
movie
No, I'm
theater.
gonna. No.
I picture a Reno movie theater playing like those old talkies from like the war times. We were like, looks like medicine's on the rise. People are using insulin. It's coming out hot.
Reno's not like Reno. Anyway,
No, it's a lesser than Vegas. It's
I
not
know.
even close to Vegas, right? When you're there, it's not
No.
even close.
when you're in the casino, you're like, oh, maybe I'm in one of these like shitty off strip casinos or
But
something.
you're like, this is the main strip of Reno.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
boy.
I didn't leave the hotel last time because it was, I did the final day because it was terrible weather. But also I looked at the weather this time and it said like thunderstorms the whole time, but it's sort of on and off. Anyway, my toe's still broken. I probably won't explore too much. But okay, anniversary. So what we ended up doing, Matt's like, what if we went to Dave and Buster's? I'm
That's
like,
our beloved place. We love Dave. We used to live near one in Hollywood Boulevard, and we used to go there all the time. So much that we got enough tickets for a whiskey decanter.
Yes.
Which was like
8,000 tickets.
8,000 tickets.
Yeah.
That's hard to
We
get.
got whiskey decanter. We have mugs. We have a
little
banjo.
a little guitar.
We have a little guitar. We have insane. I got a stupid hat that says I'm Pickle Rick, bitch. Like it's just
That was one of our worst choices.
that was a very bad choice.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have so much Dave and Buster stuff because we used to go there so much, and I was like, we haven't gone there since pre-pandemic, and I found all these old Dave and Buster's cards that were like, okay, let's go. We went to the Cheesecake Factory first for lunch. Hell yeah!
That's the thing. We said this in the parking lot. We're like, America does this so perfectly. A mall with the restaurants. I know Canada has it too, but it's just like there's something extra just gross and stupid about. You're like, I'm just gonna go to fucking Cheesecake Factory and go to Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
It's right next door.
And then like if I wanted to, I could slip into Old Navy. Like
Yeah.
it's a fun time. So we did that, Dave and Buster's, and I was like, I have all these cards. Can you let me know if I have any like gameplay on them or tickets? We ended up having like 3,000, or we had so much gameplay.
We had 300 tokens.
300 tokens.
And it was half price that day, so it was like half off, and it was basically like I looked at the prices. I think it was like $50 or $60 worth of like play time.
Yeah.
And it was just sitting in our fucking drawer.
And we
this
had
whole
that,
time.
and then it was happy hour, and we had all these tickets left over on them because the tickets
Yeah.
go straight to your card. I'm like, oh my god! So basically, we went to fucking Dave and Buster's and Cheesecake Factory, and spent like $100 between the two of us,
It
which
was
is
the best.
great.
Yeah, it was very good. And then we plugged away and got enough tickets to get a neon sign that says "Ding Ding Ding."
Ding ding ding.
Ding 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 ding. It's
I'll take a picture.
perfect.
I'll take a picture of
I
it.
posted it on my Instagram story, but it's right above our bar cart, and I love a neon sign.
We love a neon sign.
That's why I partly want to move to Vegas too. I'm like, our living room is prepared. It's full of neon signs already.
We have a little Vegas like light up sign.
Yeah, we have a little Vegas sign, and I don't care. And I know you'll have a job in Vegas, and I'll figure it out. I keep saying I'll be a stay-at-home dad with the dog, and I don't hate that either.
That's kind of what you do now, anyway. It's kind of what we both do.
Yeah, I tour every now and then. I tour.
No,
I
I know.
tour.
We all tour.
It's just, I just want to. I'm just open for new things. I'm like, life is short. What if I, at one point in my life, I'm like, I lived in Vegas for 2 years.
Yeah,
What
well,
the hell?
I'm gonna look back at my life like I was a showgirl in Vegas for a few years.
Yeah, why not?
That's why I want to have kids who have grandkids because I want to be like grandma, which is the female MC of Magic Mike Live, and let me tell you, I looked at some nice bodies.
You don't need to have kids. Wow. Let me tell you, I looked at some nice bodies. Grandma, stop! They had rippling abs and big old pecky pecs.
Oh my god! Just talk about being part of a team. Yoo-hoo!
You don't get to oil them up or anything, right?
Yeah, I have to oil them up with my vagina.
Oh my God, just slithering your vagina around all of their muscles. I can't imagine. So, you just get to be friends with these Magic Michaels. That's
Yeah,
what
all
you
the
get when
Michaels.
you get to hang out with and work with these Magic Michaels. I'm not threatened at all, by the way. I'll show up on set or whatever, and I'll be like, don't.
You shouldn't be threatened. I'll bring you in the mix.
They'll be like, that Luigi-looking motherfucker is what you're with.
Hi. Don't touch my wife. Do not. Excuse me.
I'm just holding the dog in a Bjorn.
And she's just.
Keep your hands to yourself, Magic Michaels.
Is there anything weird that happened? Is there like that was
No,
weird?
we're almost at the 30-minute mark, and I'll be honest,
fuck.
something is a brewing
Oh no.
in the old brewery.
Yeah, you know what? This is an extra warm and fuzzy short baby that we just did because I guarantee you after this weekend there's going to be a lot of that was weirds.
You better see some weird Reno things.
Oh,
I'm not doing shit. I can't tell you how little I have planned this weekend. I'm meeting some fellas for some sandwiches today after I drop you off at the airport, and then I'm literally going to just stay at home.
Sounds like you're already you're testing out your stay-at-home dad life.
I already am. It's like, oh, I can't wait to move to Vegas and be a stay-at-home dad. And I'm doing the exact same thing here. The new Zelda came out, for God's sake. It's so good. You can do whatever you want. And you can like dive into ceilings and you can fuse your sword with different objects like bombs and rocks and stuff. It's very exciting. And you can build like machines.
You talk about Zelda, how like fucking gross, perverted old men talk about like going to the red light district in Thailand.
Oh God, I saw Zelda do this one thing the other day. Oh my God, it was so
Ew,
hot.
I hate that the men are like, you can do whatever you want there. It's like, ew, you should be in jail. You should be in jail.
That's equivalent to comics these days that are like, I only play clubs in Austin because you could say whatever you want down there. You could do it. You could say anything. And I'm
Ew.
like, I know what you're saying. You're saying racist things, and you think that's
You're
exciting.
saying racist, sexist, misogynist, homophobic, horrible things.
You can also just go into a room in your house and say those things to yourself if you want. You don't have to go to a public
But you want the
comedy
shock.
club.
You want the reaction of like, oh.
Yeah. Holy shit, the things you can't say on television.
Listen, say fuck. Fuck's a fun word.
Yeah, that's all people should be saying.
Fuckity fuck fuck fuck.
Speaking of fuck, we're going to end this fucking podcast. Where can people find you on
They can
the
fucking find me, Julia Comedy on Instagram, Julia Comedian on Facebook.
You can also find you in Reno this
They
weekend.
can find me in Reno this
Don't
weekend.
go find her.
Don't find me.
No.
But if you want to come to the Laugh Factory in Reno, do it. Jackie Fabulous is headlining, and she's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
So that should be a good time. And follow our Instagram podcast. Is this what you want? Podcast. Oh shit. Listen, I know some people have DM'd us, and I was like, "Oh, read it on the next podcast." Guess what? It'll be the next one.
Hi-yo.
Matt, where can they find you?
Matt O'Brien on Instagram, and if you want to come see me this weekend, you can. I'll give you my address, and you can come press your face up against the window and watch me play Zelda, like an otter exhibit at the zoo. So that's it. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks
Sorry
for
about the
listening.
shorty. We'll talk to you soon.
I'm going to go poo.
Oh no.
Is this what you want with Matt and Julia? Is this what you want with Matt and Julia? Is this what you want?